Namaskaram. Welcome to Mahabharatham Mahavira's channel.
Dear all, Namaskaram, Happy Diwali, greetings to you all. I am Ramanujam. I hail from Kumbakonam, a town famous for its education, Hindu religion, and Indian culture. I was born in 1941. The same year, one of the greatest contributors to Tamil literature, Hindu religion, and Indian culture reached the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. I am talking about Manalur Veeravalli Ramanujachariar, the first person to get the greatest epic of the world, Mahabharatham, translated from Sanskrit language to Tamil. As many of you are aware that Mahabharata is the longest epic poem ever written. It consists of more than 1 lakh slokas and over 2 lakh individual verses. I am proud to say I am the grandson of this great person, Sri Manalur Veeravalli Ramanujachariar Swami. There were efforts earlier to translate Mahabharata by scholars like Villimithurar and a few, but it was not a full translation and not a complete translation in prose format. Mahabharata is considered as the fifth Veda in Hindu religion. Hence, Ramanujacharya, with a view to help the Tamil population to read Mahabharata in Tamil, decided to translate from Sanskrit to Tamil. Manalur Veeravalli Ramanujacharya is also known as Mavira. MahaMahopadyaya, Dr. U.V. Swaminathan, also known as Tamil Tata, encouraged Mavira to take up the translation work and gave his blessings and also financial support to start the work. Many Zamindar, learned persons of the time, and even his relatives advised him not to venture on the translation work as it was an arduous task involving huge financial support with no guarantee that the work will be completed given the long length of Mahabharata and also the complexity of the work involved in the translation. It would not be out of place to mention that renowned astrologers of the time warned that his translation work will not be completed and that Mavira would die before the completion of the translation work. Despite all the odds against him, Sri Mavira decided to go ahead with his translation of the greatest epic, Mahabharata, in Tamil to help the Tamil population. Though Mavira was proficient in Sanskrit, Tamil and English, in his earnest desire to get a precise translation of Sanskrit verses, Mavira sought the help of great scholars of Sanskrit and Tamil for translation work. To name a few scholars who helped him in the translation work are Professor T.S. Srinivasacharya, Sanskrit scholar in the Government Arts College, Kumbakonam, Mahavidwan Varangulam Krishna Sastrigal, MahaMahopadyaya, Painganadu Ganapati Sastrigal, and Kadalagudi Nadesa Sastrigal. It would not be out of place to mention that Mavira supported those scholars financially for their great help in translation and also made the job easy by appointing secretarial staff to help them in the translation work. Sri Mavira was a great planner, administrator, and a perfect executor to achieve his ultimate goal. He had appointed office assistants for carrying out work connected to translation and publication. He had appointed sales representative to propagate the publishing of Mahabharata in Tamil to cover nook and corner of South India. To ensure speedy and correct printing of the translated material, he established a printing press and named it as Mahabharatham Press. This press was located at the Ramanujachariar Street, Kumbakonam. I will now speak a few words in the recognition by the then government of India and the Sanskrit Committee for his excellent contribution to the Tamil society. The then Viceroy and the Governor General of India, Lord Lilithgow, conferred on him the title of MahaMahopadyaya for bringing out a Tamil version of Mahabharatham. The Madras Sanskrit Academy conferred on him the title of Bhasha Bharatha Durandara. Dr. Annie Besant in the New India Journal said that Mahavira has contributed in a great way to the Tamil public for enabling them to read Mahabharata in their own language and understands the store of wisdom and practical analysis and profound religious and teachings contained in the Mahabharata. There were many articles written in the Hindu between 1908 and 1932 praising Mahabharata in Tamil and Mahavira's untiring efforts in this direction. Sri Mahavira expressed his sincere thanks to all those who helped him in one way or the other. In 1941, upon his demise, Ananda Vigadan published an article titled Bhagiradan Marainda. Mahavira has done human service to the Tamil-loving public and the entire nation and humanity. I am also proud and honored and privileged to be his grandson. I consider it as my fortune to be born in this illustrious family. Unfortunately, the last several decades since his demise, his work remained largely unknown to the public. I and my brothers and sisters did our best to promote the legacy of our grandfather through articles in the press, release of booklets on special occasions. It is now the time for me and my generation to hand over the mantle to the next generation in our family. I fondly hope that Mahavira and his contribution to Tamil literature and society get the credit and recognition in the coming generations and time. Mahavira, in his Munnurai, that is the preface in the Mahabharata Parvas, has clearly mentioned about dispelling of the myth of reading Mahabharata at home. He has taken great pains to explain the benefits of reading Mahabharata at home by people. I fondly hope that all Tamil-loving people take inspiration from this illustrious person's words and deeds and start writing Mahavira's Tamil Mahabharata at home. Today, on the auspicious occasion of Diwali Day, I am happy to announce the launch of a YouTube channel in the name of Mahavira by my next generation in Mahavira's great family. I am sure that Mahavira's great grandsons and great granddaughters will carry on the mantle to spread the legacy of Mahavira. In this age of advancement in technology, social media, I believe this YouTube channel will be a great vehicle for the people around the world to get to know, appreciate, and enrich from the works and contributions of MahaMahopadyaya, Manalu Veeravalli Ramanujachariar Swami. I wish everyone to participate in this task. Best of luck, best wishes to make this project a great success. Once again, happy Diwali to all. Srimate Ramanujaya Namaha, Srimat Vararamaniye Namaha.
நமஸ்காரம், எல்லாருக்கும் நமஸ்காரம். கிரீட்டிங்ஸ் ஃப்ரம் கும்பகோணம். இப்போ கொஞ்ச நேரத்துக்கு முன்னாடி பேசினார் மிஸ்டர் ராமானுஜம். அவருடைய புதல்வன் நான். என் பேர் ஆனந்த். மண்டலூர் வீரவெள்ளி ராமானுஜாச்சாரியாரோட கொள்ளு பேரன். பேசுறது கேட்டிருப்பீங்க. அதில் மண்டலூர் வீரவெள்ளி ராமானுஜாச்சாரியார் தவறி போகும்போது 1940 ஆனந்த விகடனில் ஒரு ட்ரிபியூட்டும் ஆபிச்சுவரியும் எழுதியிருந்தார் அப்படின்னு படிச்சிருப்பேன். பகீரதன் மறைந்தார் அப்படின்றது. அதே ஆனந்த விகடனில் பகீரத பிரயத்தனம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு கட்டுரை வந்திருந்தது. அதுலேருந்து சில எக்ஸப்ட்ஸ் படிக்க விரும்புகிறேன். உன்னதமான ஒரு லட்சியத்தை அடைய விரும்பும் மனிதன் எத்தனையோ சவால்களும் கஷ்டங்களும் சோதனைகளையும் எதிர்கொண்டுதான் ஆக வேண்டும். இலக்கை அடைவதற்கான பாதை மலர்படுக்கையைப் போல் மென்மையானதாக அமைந்து விடுவதில்லை. சவால்களையும் கஷ்டங்களையும் சந்திக்கும் போது நாம் சோர்வற்று துவண்டு போகாமல் இருக்க ஒரே வழி விடாமுயற்சி தான். அப்படி விடாமுயற்சியுடன் தன் லட்சியத்தை அடைந்த ஒரு மனிதரை ராமாயணம் நமக்கு எடுத்து காட்டுகிறது. இதிகாச புராண இலக்கியங்களில் எல்லாமே மனிதர்கள் எப்படி வாழ வேண்டும் என்பதை உணர்த்துவதற்காகவே படைக்கப்பட்டன என்பதை நாம் மறுக்க இயலாது. புனித நதியான கங்கை இந்த பூமிக்கு வந்ததன் பின்னணியில் பகீரதன் என்பவரின் விடாமுயற்சியும் தன்னம்பிக்கையும் தான் இருந்தன. பகீரதன் மிகுந்த பிரயத்னத்துடன் கங்கையை பூமிக்கு வரவழைத்ததை தான் நாம் பகீரத பிரயத்தனம் என்று போற்றி சொல்கிறோம் இல்லையா? பகீரதன் ராமாயணத்தில் விஸ்வாமித்திரர் ராமலக்ஷ்மணருக்கு கங்கை எப்படி பூமிக்கு வந்ததுன்னு எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணும்போது இந்த பகீரதன் பல மில்லேனியம் இயர்ஸ் தவம் இருந்து அந்த சிவனுக்கு பிரார்த்தனை பண்ணி கங்கை பூமிக்கு பகீரதன் was able to fulfill a long fulfilled of their family to do cremation for his forefathers or great grandfathers who had passed away due to the curse of one of the munivars, Kashyapa Munivar நினைக்கிறேன். எனிவே, கம்மிங் பேக், இதே பகீரத முயற்சி ஆனந்த விகடன் இவர் மணலூர் வீரவெள்ளி ஆச்சாரியார் பகீரதர் மறைந்தார் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு போட்டதில் இது இட்ஸ் அன்டினையபிள் தட் மணலூர் வீரவெள்ளி ராமானுஜாச்சாரியார் 25 வருஷம் அவருடைய மைண்ட், ஹார்ட் அண்ட் சோல் அண்ட் பிரெத், எவ்ரிதிங் he dedicated, as well as all his monetary money, whatever he had, he dedicated to the singular cause of getting Mahabharatham translated into Tamil for the first time in a precise and correct fashion and in a complete manner. It was a Herculean task, and it took a lot of great courage, conviction and determination for him to complete this task. அதனால் இது பகீரத பிரயத்தனம்னு there'll be no dispute or no one to differ from that. இப்போ படித்தேன். அதில் நிறைய பேர் தெரிஞ்சவாழலாம், இது நம்மை போன்றவர்கள் செய்யக்கூடிய காரியம் இல்லை, பல படிதர்கள் சேர்ந்து பல வருஷங்கள் செய்யக்கூடிய பெருங்காரியம், இது நம்ம கல்வி அறிவையும் பரிசிரமத்தையும் கொண்டு பண்ணுற காரியம் இல்லை அப்படின்னு. இது பெருங்காரியம், ஆனால் யாரும் நம்மளாலாம் பண்ண முடியாதுன்னு எல்லாம் படித்தவா, எல்லாம் பாண்டித்தம் இருந்தவா எல்லாருமே சொல்லியிருக்கா. அதையும் மீறி இவர் இவாள்லாம் பண்ணக்கூடாதுன்னு சொல்கிறாளே, அப்படி இருந்தும் நம்ம இதை எப்படியாவது பண்ணிடணும் அப்படின்ற ராமானுஜாச்சாரியாருக்கு ஒரு ஸ்ட்ராங் ஒரு வில் பவர், ஒரு கரு இருந்தது. அது அவர் அந்த காரியம் உத்தமமாக இருந்ததுன்னா, எல்லாருமே காரியம் உத்தமமாக இருக்குன்னு சொல்கிறா. ஆனால் யாராவது ஒருத்தர் சிரமம் எடுத்துகிட்டு பண்ணால் தானே நல்ல காரியம் நிறைவேறும். யாருமே இது பெரிய காரியம், உத்தமமான காரியம், ஆனால் யாரும் பண்ண முடியாது அப்படின்னா என்ன அர்த்தம்? யாராவது ஒருத்தர் இனிஷியேட்டிவ் எடுத்துன்னு தானே பண்ணணும் அப்படிங்கிறா அப்படின்னு அவருக்கு இருந்தது. அதுக்கப்புறம் நிறைய பேர் இந்த மாதிரி தட்டங்கள் சொன்னப்புறம் ஜோசியர் எல்லாம் போய் பார்த்துருக்கார். அந்த ஜோசியர் வலங்கிமானில் இருக்கிற ஒரு ஜோசியர் கொடுத்தது குறி சரியா இல்லை, இது நடுவுலேயே நின்று போயிடும் சில பருவங்கள் முடிஞ்ச உடனே அப்படின்றார். இவர் அவரோட ரிசால்வ் துளி கூட குறையலை. ஹீஸ் ரிசால்வ் ஒன்லி காட் மோர் ஸ்ட்ரெங்தன் அண்ட் ஹீ செட், இது யாரும் வெளியில் காட்டக்கூடாதுன்னு சொல்லிட்டு அதை ஒரு உரையில் போட்டு அரசு முத்திரை அடிச்சுட்டு இதை மகாபாரதம் பூர்த்தியானதுக்கு அப்புறம் தான் பார்க்க போகிறேன் அப்படின்னு சொன்னார். ஸோ அதே மாதிரி he did not open it until the Mahabharatham was completed. He has completed this work with singular devotion and dedication. இப்போ எங்களுடைய எஃபர்ட்ஸ் from our family is to restore his lost glory and to spread and make the larger public, Tamil loving public and the world about his contributions to Mahabharata. And also, this is also an important effort from our side to document the oral history from family members, friends, and historians, other eminent people in society, literati. Engage whoever has known him or heard him. It will be our effort to view this YouTube channel to take those people's interviews and get some rare insights into the life of this great man and his works. Thank you. I hand it over to my sister Jayanti now. Thank you.
Namaskaram. I am Dr. Jayanti Parthasarathy from Columbus, Ohio. I am the great granddaughter of the great Mavira Manalur Veeravalli Ramanujachariar, whose name, as we all know, is synonymous with Mahabharatham. I am the daughter of R. Seshatri, who is the grandson of Mavira. Even though I have not seen my great grandfather or my Kollutata, he had a great influence in my life. To say the least, I was married to Sriman Parthasarathy only because I was the great granddaughter of Mahabharatham Mavira, as told by my mother in law. Now, let us see the life and some of the works of Mavira. We'll have a glimpse of the whole life of Mavira. Mavira hailed from Manalur. His ancestors moved from Sriperumbudur to Manalur in the 15th century. Manalur is a small, beautiful green village which is 16 kilometers from Kumbakonam and is a neighboring village of Kanjanur, which is the Sukrasthalam. He was born on 16th April 1866 as the second son of Sriman Veeraswamy Iyengar and Srimati Kanakammal. Unfortunately, he lost his father at the tender age of 11 while he was studying in the village school. He was sent to Kumbakonam to study English, where he completed his matriculation despite all his family difficulties. He came back to Manalore and taught in this school. And for Sanskrit learning, he learned from his maternal uncle, Veeraragava Iyengar, who was also known as Samanya Iyengar, who was an authority on Vyakarana Sutras. Mavira's burning thirst for knowledge made him leave home at the age of 18 years with very little money in his hand. He went from Manalore to Bombay, and from Bombay he wrote to the principal of the Sanskrit college in Banaras, which is now called Varanasi, who in turn called him for an interview and gave him admission. George Frederick William Thibaut, who translated Ramanuja's Sribhashyam into English, was then the principal of the Queen's College, which was a known center of learning for Sanskrit. Mavira learned from the Kumarasamy Mutt and the Tripanandal Mutt, from Narayana Shastri and Paramaswara Thambiran, both Sanskrit and Tamil. But after about 6 months, due to his mother's inability or to bear the separation from her son, he came back home to Manalur. Paramaswaran Thambiran from Varanasi wrote letters to the pontiffs of Thiruvadurai Adinam, Subramanya Desikar, and Kumarasamy Thambiran of Thirupanandal Adinam to extend their support to young Ramanujachariar. Ramanujachariar was taken into the fold at Tiruvadurayadinam to be educated along with the junior Tambiran Ambalavana Desigan, who later succeeded as the Tiruvadurayadinam head. Recently, Sengol, which is a symbol of a fair and just rule and a reminder to the ruler or the leader to keep the principles of fairness as the central guideline, was added to the Indian Parliament. It is interesting that it is the same Ambalavana Desikar, when he was the head of the Tiruvadurayadinam, was approached by Radhaji and other leaders to get a Sengol made during uh, the British declaring the independence and transferring of power to uh, our Bharat Mata, India. And this Sengol was taken to uh, New Delhi at that point in time, and it was handed over to Viceroy Lord Mountbatten, who handed it over to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, indicating the transfer of power from the British to the Indian leaders. Sengol is was used by the Chola kings when there was transfer of power happening. During his stay at Tiruvadurayadinam, Mavira met Uvesa Minadayan, also known as Uvesa or Tamil Tata, who used to come to the mutt to have discussions with the head of the mutt, Subramanya Desikan. Uvesa was very impressed by Mavira. He suggested that Mavira goes to Srirangam to a high school as a Tamil Pandit. Mavira also did as suggested, but stayed there for a few months and came back to Tiruvadurai so he could be closer to Uvesa. He assisted Uvesa in his works. He also joined Native High School as a Tamil Pandit, where he stayed for a long time as a teacher on Uvesa's advice. Mavira also lived in Uvesa's home in Kumbakonam from 1904 to 1921, when Uvesa moved to Chennai to become the director of the Madras Presidency College. A close connection that started in 1886 lasted a lifetime, and Uvesa was always there with Mavira in everything that he did. Mavira helped Uvesa in his writings in Purapurul Venpamalai, Manimegalai, and Sivagasintamani. Mavira had a small stint as a village revenue officer and was also the village munsif at Mandalore after his brother, who was a village munsif, passed away. On Uvesa's advice, Mavira joined the Kumbakonam Native High School in 1893. He was a Tamil Pandit in the school till 1910. Here we see the school as it is today. In front of that standing is my uncle, Chittappa Ramanujam, who is an alumni of the school. When he is standing in front of the school, what beautiful memories he would have had of his days in the school and his tata, who was the Tamil Pandit there. When Uvesa moved to become the director of the Madras Presidency College, Mavira was appointed as the Tamil Pandit at the Kumbakonam Government Arts College in 1911. He continued here till 1921 when he retired. During this time, he was also member of the Madras University Academic Council for 21 years, and he was chairman of the board for 3 years. During this time, he suggested and spoke for the Tamil professors and said Tamil professors and Vidwans should be treated at par with English and science professors. He was also sounded to be the director of the Presidency College, but he declined due to family reasons. Mahavira was a true multilingualist with his scholarship in Sanskrit, Tamil, and English. During the years 1905-1906, when discussions were happening between him and his friends, there was always something to say that there is no true good Mahabharatam translation in Tamil that could be understood by the common man or the layperson. And Mahavira started thinking that he wanted to take up that work. He was discouraged by many people, saying that it is a humongous work and might be very difficult to do because there was lots of need of money and resources, including an astrologer who predicted, saying that this work will either stop halfway or it will not be completed. But Mahavira's determination made him think that he should do it. And he also had supporting people who were encouraging him, like Uvesa. Uvesa was the spark for starting the translation uh, with a donation of 30 rupees, which meant a lot in those days. And with the blessings of Uvesa, Sri Mahabharatham was started and completed as 45 parts of 200 pages each. The final volume came out on February 18, 1932. Taking all the pre-work into consideration, it took about 27 years, more than a quarter century, to complete the humongous work. With the great determination of Mahavira and his passion, and above all, Perumal's grace, he was born to do this. Truly a Bhagirath Prayatanam by Mahavira. Sri Mahabharatham translation is Mahavira's greatest work. The first Sanchika came out in 1908. He was helped by many people, V.T. Krishnamacharya, Diwan of Baroda, V.V. Srinivasa Iyengar, N. Krishnaswamy Iyengar, M.C.T. Muthu Chettiar, Brahmashri Sundaramayyar, Alladi Krishnaswamy Iyengar, and Uvesa was always with him during his work. Some of these people, they bought the books and some of them gave money as donations. The newspapers or the media those days, the Hindu, Mail and Swadesamitran were also very supportive of Mahavira's Mahabharatam translation. All the scholars mentioned made public appeals and signature campaigns for donations and support for the great work done by Mahavira. Lord Pentland and Mr. Statham visited Kumbakonam and they had a conversation with Mahavira regarding the progress of the Sri Mahabharatam translation, for which he said 6 out of the 13 massive volumes have already been published, and they wished him all the best. And the government had already ordered 75 sets of the complete translated Mahabharatam set, for which Mahavira thanked the government. Sri Mahabharatham was printed and released as different parvams. Adi Parvam, Sabha Parvam, Vana Parvam 1 and 2, Virata Parvam 1, Udyoga Parvam, Bhishma Parvam, Drona Parvam, Karna Parvam, Salya Parvam, Sautika Parvam, Stri Parvam, Santi Parvam 1 and 2, Anusasana Parvam 1 and 2, Aswamedha Parvam, Ashramavasika Parvam, Mausala Parvam, Mahaprasthanika Parvam, and Swarga Arohana Parvam. Later, the last four, Ashramavasika Parvam, Mausala Parvam, Mahaprasthanika Parvam, and Swarga Arohana Parvam were merged together and printed as one. It is a blessing that we have these parvams at our home as a blessing of Mahavira. We are blessed to have these great works at our home by our ancestors, and these are also available on the Internet Archive for download, and they are also there at the Uvesa Library. This is volumes 1 to 11. These are volumes 12 to 21, starting from the Stri Parvam to the ending with the Swarga Arohana Parvam. On completion of Mahabharatam, Mahavira was extremely happy. His joy knew no bounds, and he compares his happiness to the part in Srimad Ramayana. It is very interesting to see how a person who has breathed Mahabharatam, who has had Mahabharatam as his life, compares his joy with Sita Pirati in Srimad Ramayana. He says, அச்சாகம் முடிந்தவுடன் உண்டான களிப்பின் மிகுதிக்கு ஓர் எல்லை இல்லை. அசோகவனத்தில் துயரக்கடலில் மூழ்கியிருந்த சீதா பிராட்டிக்கு பெருமாளுடைய மோதிரம் கிடைத்த போது உண்டான மகிழ்ச்சிக்கு இதற்கு ஒருவாறு ஒப்பாகலாம். Which means that the joy which he had can be compared to what the emotions and the happiness of Sita Pirati when she was at Sri Lanka in the Ashokavana, when Hanuman brings the Sri Rama's ring. What a comparison, a beautiful one indeed. And his humbleness is also seen in, even though he did a great work, he still says, எல்லாம் வல்ல கடவுள் 25 வருடமாக காலமாக என்னை அளவில்லாத துன்பத்திற்கு ஆளாக்கினானேனும் இந்த பெருங்காரியத்தை என்னை கொண்டே நடத்தி நிறைவேற்றியது அவனுடைய அவ்வியாஜமான கிருபை. Which means, even though God gave me, or Perumal gave me, a lot of difficulties during the 25 years, his kripa is seen, Bhagavan's kripa is seen when he made me the instrument of completion of this work. A very humble saying for a great person indeed. Uve Swaminathan, also known as Uvesa or Tamil Tata, has always been with Mahavira, guiding him throughout his work. And in the beginning, when he started Mahabharatam, as we saw, Uvesa was the first spark to start that. And when the first Sanchika came out in 1908, Uvesa says, "Yeah, I'm so happy to see this work, and it has taken some years to get this work done, but it is so nice of Mavira, and so we should, the Tamil Ulagam or the Tamil world should be very grateful to Ramanujachariar for having taken up this work. Similarly, on completion of the work on 19th of February 1932, he says that the between 16th and 18th what you sent, I have read it. It is very beautiful, and he blesses him, saying that God should bless Mavira with great health and for a long time. And uh, he says today is a very blessed day. The Hindu, one of the major uh, newspapers of those days and even today, reports on the 19th of February 1932 that it was a monumental work and scholarship with a rare service to the Tamil reading public. And they praise Mahavira for his passion and his untiring work and dedication in completion of this huge, voluminous work. Another tribute on completion of Mahabharatham. It says that Mahabharatham is a very long and very complicated epic, and having translated that and spent 25 years and 1.5 lakhs of rupees and published it as 45 volumes with 9,000 pages. If a person has done, it is Mavira. And it says, in this great effort, he had a lot of difficulties, including financial difficulties, and also printing paper was shortage during the World War. He overcame all of that and got it published. Even though the translation work was not taken with the hope of getting in recognition, it is really a proud moment for us to say that recognition came to Mavira in different forms. The imperial government uh, granted him the title of MahaMahopadyaya. MahaMahopadyaya is an honorific title given to prestigious scholars by the government of India. Prior to 1947, it was bestowed by the British Raj and before them the kings. This has been a very ancient tradition. In ancient India, a scholar wrote the works based on Shastras and he was granted the title Mahopadyaya. The title of MahaMahopadyaya was bestowed on the best amongst the Mahopadyaya scholars, best of the best. This is such a great recognition, and we are very proud of Mavira getting this recognition. The Sanskrit Academy of Chennai, or the Sanskrit Academy of Chennai, conferred upon him the title Bhasha Bharatha Durandara, which means that he is a great scholar in Sanskrit as well. Here we see a picture of the other Sanskrit scholars at the Sanskrit Academy and the award that was given to him. He is called a literary Hercules. Mahavira has also published Vishnu Sahasranama Bhashyam, which carries the translation of Shankara Bhashyam and Parasara Bhattar Bhashyam. The script is in Devanagari, Grantha and Tamil. I understand that this has been translated by Dr. V. N. Vedanta Desikan and published by Sri Visishtadvaita Research Center in 1997. He wrote some Tamil readers and grammar books for elementary and high school students. Mahabharata stories was compiled by him, Mahabharata Kadagal, and it was published by his son, my grandfather, M.R. Rajagopalachari. And he also learnt phonetics and translated Otto Jesperson's phonetics in Tamil. This is a picture of Mahavira taken in April 1937 on his completion of 71 years. Recently, Sri Chakra Publications has published all the versions of Sri Mahabharatham translation, the Kumbakonam version or Mahavira's version, as 9 volumes compiled together. Manalur Veeravalli Ramanujachariar, Mahabharatham M.V. Ramanujachariar passed away and attained Paramapadam in April 1940. As all good things do come to an end, as told by Nammalvar in Thiruvaimozhi, Vinnulagam புகுவது மன்னவர் விதியே. All men born on this earth have to go back to Vinnulagam or Sri Vaikuntham. Our great Tata, whose name has become synonymous with the great epic Mahabharata, and who left a permanent indelible legacy in this Bhulokam, left for his Paramapada Yatra, and he attained Paramapadam in 1940. My aunt, who was a little girl then, says, the previous night he told our party, tomorrow a big work is getting completed. நாளை ஒரு காரியம் பூர்த்தியாகிறது. Uttarayanam has begun. Can go, போலாம். There is no water in the Kaveri river. And grandsons can hold the Neipandam and can go. At that time, neither party nor anybody around him realized that he was talking about his own Paramavada Yatra that was happening the next day. True to his words, Tata breathed his last the next day morning after having his bath and adorning his Tirman and Sri Charnam and his clothes. Feeling tired, he said Krishna and closed his eyes and passed away. This was the end of a saga. A great person whose work will be living forever as long as the world is there. உலகம் உள்ளவரை அவரின் பதிப்புகள் என்றுமே இருக்கும். Ananda Vikidan, a very popular weekly magazine, 2 days, paid tribute to Mahavira the week after he attained Paramapadam. It said, Mahabharatham is the longest epic in the world. What is there in Mahabharatham can be found in other stories, but what is not there in Mahabharatham cannot be found anywhere else, and it is also considered as the fifth Veda. And Mahavira has taken a big work or a great work of translating Sri Mahabharatham into Tamil, and it has taken him 25 years, and it went on to say about the difficulties he went through, and said that his loss is a big one to the not only to the Tamil literary world but also to the world at large. India Radio also announced his passing away the very same day. My pranams and obeisance on behalf of all of the Mahavira family. என்ன தவம் செய்து இக்குலத்தில் யாம் பிறந்தோம் என்று தெரியவில்லை. இப்பேற்பட்ட மகானை பார்க்காவிடினும் அவரை பற்றி சிறிதாவது தெரிந்து கொண்டு பகிர்வதற்கு மிகப்பெரிய பாக்கியம் செய்திருக்க வேண்டும் நான். அந்த ஸ்ரீமான் நாராயணனுக்கு மிக்க நன்றி. அடியேன்தாசன் ஜெயந்தி பார்த்தசாரதி. What tavam I have done in my previous janma to have been born in this great kulam of Mahavira. My pranams and obeisance to Sriman Narayana for making me an instrument to get to know a minuscule about our great Tata and the bhagyam to share with you all. Adiyen Jayanti Parthasarathi. Thank you. Dhanyavad for watching our Mahavira's channel. Please share with your friends and family. Please subscribe to know more about Mahavira. We value your suggestions and comments. Adiyongal, Manalur Veeravalli Ramanujachariar family.